Hi, good morning. Welcome to the channel. My name is Dan. This is Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over at Patreon, thank you so very, very much. For those of you that don't support me and want to go over there and get a subscription, please feel free to do so. The name is Engelgeist333. If you subscribe, there's certain readings that are available only over on Patreon. There's a Cupid's Love reading and things that come out monthly that you guys get as a added bonus for subscribing. And you also can get the daily forecast a day early. So, if that interests you. Other ways you can support the channel, follow my Instagram at Engelgeist333. You can like, share, subscribe to either the business page on Facebook or to my YouTube channel, or cross-subscribe. You know, you can like both areas and watch me from wherever. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. I do live card pulls and charm events and things like that. So those are opportunities where you can actually interact with me live. So today is the forecast for Friday the 20th of March. This is also, when I put this out to Spirit before getting online, it's also a sort of a set message, and the intention is set that this is the message for the greater collective, for the highest good. So it is a timeless message in the sense that if you're seeing this on a date that's not the 20th of March, that doesn't mean it doesn't necessarily apply to your life. You might be in alignment with whatever's being said here, and you might be ready to hear it or need to hear it. So trust that maybe if you're seeing this on a date that's not March 20th, maybe you need to watch this video anyways. Okay? So let's see what's in the cards for us today. We've been having a lot of Cups energy. We had that Sun card. We had that Four of Cups that showed up. The Two of Cups, the Lovers. Sundays was the Two of Cups, the Sun card, and the Lovers, right? Extremely transformative energy, extremely joined energy, a lot of love-focused energy. And that is the underpinning of all of this, right? If we've lost sight of that love or that connection to self in some way, shape, or form, we may want to think about that today, just as an aside, with whatever cards that come up today. Yesterday we had that Knight of Cups, which is also very much that emotional energy. We had the Four of Cups show up this week. There's been a lot of cup stuff, so it tells me that, we're working through some emotions around some of the stuff that we're dealing with. Probably not only personally while we're in social distancing, but also, globally, as we're looking at what's going on in the world and how it's shifting and changing. So, if you're feeling it right now, don't worry. Most of us are, and I think that we're supposed to be. There's something happening here. There's a transformation that I believe that's taking place within each and every one of us. It's up to us how we choose to transform. And whether or not we do it with ease and grace, or if we do it struggling along the way, wailing and gnashing of teeth. And trust me, I have wailed and gnashed a little bit over the last few days. And then I've also slipped into ease and grace at times too. So I'm just here to read the cards. I'm no different than any of you guys, right? My experiences, my fears, my worries, my insecurities can be very similar, if not exactly the same, to what some of you might be feeling. But I also have to actively sort of temper them and keep them, what's the word, not under control, but I have to acknowledge them, but I also have to actively and consciously work towards something better, something higher vibration, okay? So let's see what the cards have to say for us today. Wow. Speaking of that Cups energy, huh? This is the Ten of Cups. It's actually really nice and welcome to see this. I love right out of the gate that peace symbol that's behind those cups. I feel like this is, oh my God, this makes me feel good. To me, Ten of Cups is about obviously the the element of water and the emotions, but this is about abundance. This is about completion. This is about becoming more whole with who we are, how we feel, how others feel. Maybe being a little bit more compassionate towards others. To me, when I look at this grouping of 5 cups and 5 cups coming together, to me this feels like maybe the world bonding over a shared experience. And maybe behind all of this shared experience, as much as we might be struggling or we might be feeling, and not all of us have to be struggling either. Some of us may be enjoying this experience, right? But whatever that is, it's giving us a sort of a connection to our fellow man, where I feel like maybe I'm going a little too broad with these, but it is for the greater collective, right? I feel like this group of cups might be one race of people, and this group of cups might be another race of people, or a grouping, right? This could be feminine, and this could be masculine, or this could be Democrats, and this could be Republicans, or this could be, you know, Israelis and Syrians, or whatever, right? But it feels like they're coming together. It feels like they're joining together in support of one another, in like a common goal of this symbol of peace that's behind it, right? This emotional abundance, this realization that we're all just cups. We're all just vessels for a human experience, that we all feel the same, no matter the color of our skin, no matter the type of sexual organs we have, no matter the people we love. We're actually, I always say this, I don't say this a lot on TV or on YouTube or when I'm broadcasting, but this is a definite thing that used to be on my old website when I had a website online, is that we are more similar than we are different. And we don't realize that because of our existence in this third dimensional plane. I believe that we think we're individuals. I'm just as guilty of it as the next person. I get caught up in my own drama. I get caught up in my own worry or my own fears about my life situation and how I need to fix it, protect it, do whatever. And I forget that sometimes it doesn't matter if you're male or female, black or white, Chinese. It doesn't. That we all have the same sort of human insecurities, human fears, human worries, human hopes, human dreams, human joys, right? And they come to us in very similar ways. And if we opened up about them, I think, which is, I feel like this sort of Ten of Cups, if we opened up about them and sort of shared them, which I am seeing some of that via social media through like, there's a group called, is it Quarantine of Kindness? I can't remember, but it's all sort of uplifting things that people are posting just in hopes of, uplifting each other during this time. There's even one called Quarantine and Chill, which is all about like funny memes, making fun of the craziness that we're dealing with. And then, we each sort of process what's going on in a different way, right? But as long as that we're like sort of raising our vibration and processing it in a way that's like meant from a space of love and peace, I think it brings us together. And sometimes I think that it's like situations like this where, store shelves are empty and people are being almost greedy or whatever you want to call it, self-serving, whatever, fearful. But it's to show us not only who we are, but it shows them who they are. And it sort of, I really think that through some of these more trying experiences, it makes us stop and have to reflect. At least, if not on a global scale, but on a personal scale, right? So when I look at this Ten of Cups, I feel like the reflection is happening, right? And when I think back to Sunday's reading was gorgeous with that Two of Cups. And then we had that Sun card in the center, which is energizing everything, right? Growing it bigger than we probably even want it to, right? And we're definitely dealing with big situations this week that are sort of outside of our control. But, and then we end with that Lovers card. So there's significant learning to be had this week. There's significant deepening of the love of ourselves and others. There's significant opportunities to deepen our relationship within ourselves, to understand how we handle ourselves in in a crisis situation, or how we treat our neighbors or our, community in a situation when, it could be every man for themselves. This Ten of Cups says to me that people are coming around, that we're starting to realize that there's an abundance of emotion within us that is actually beneficial, good, and hopefully oriented towards peace, enjoyment, and coming together, more so than fear and lack and I don't know. You guys get my drift, right? I don't watch the news very often. I'm just going to go off on a little bit of a tirade today. I don't watch the news very often. My news sources generally happen to be in my Facebook feed, and I tend to not read them right now because I want to not be affected by what is going on. And sometimes it's really hard. There's so many different arguments on so many different sides of the aisle that it's hard to tell who's telling the truth. And I think that the truth somewhere lies in between all of it. And the actual real truth is that we may be facing something that is very legitimate and very real, but I think the reason that why we're facing it in this way and why we're being required to stay home in distance is because we're actually being shown that we need each other's support more so than ever right now. Right? At a global scale. Right? It doesn't matter if you're white, it doesn't matter if you're black, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat. It matters if you're human. It matters if you have a soul and a heart. And in this adversity, can you drop down out of your fear and access those energies of love, compassion, care, all of those wonderful sort of energies that are in this Ten of Cups, that is this abundance, this overflow, this focus on peace that allows us to come together with not only with ourselves, but with those around us, with our community. And this can be online. We don't have to physically come together with them. But this is like this, it's almost like funny. It's like through this social distancing, it's hopefully going to teach us that we actually need each other. And we need to support each other in much better ways. We need to not have such blinders on in our day-to-day busy lives saying, oh, I'm too busy, I can't deal with these problems, I can't. Do you see what I'm saying? And so to me, this Ten of Cups feels like that energy of waking us up and realizing that we can be doing more, we can certainly be feeling more, and we can be doing more for others even from behind our computers at a social distance. And when we do that for others, we end up inadvertently doing something for ourselves in the process. I mean, that's part of the reason why I do this forecast every day. It's because I hope that it helps at least one person. And when I feel as though I've done service or helped at least one other person, then my life serves a purpose. That's beyond me, right? That's beyond whatever it is that I feel like I personally need to create for my own needs to be met, or for my own egoic thoughts, right? And there's nothing wrong with egoic thoughts and needs and wanting to create stuff for yourself for your own happiness. There's also opportunities here where we can create that happiness or that self-esteem through doing this little act. All right, let's see what the universe has your back says. And remember, we're getting towards that week's end card of the Lovers, right? We're ending out this week, so this is the beginning of that Lovers energy, that abundance and that overflow of peace and love. We allow it in, and we operate from that place, and we channel that energy. We can access the intensity and the lessons and the connectedness of that Lovers card we saw on Sunday. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. It's funny how we have these cups here forming this, and then we have these cups here forming this, and we have this rainbow here, and then we have this rainbow here. Right? They're both kind of forming these U shapes together. There's like this balance in these two cards. That's the first thing that I noticed right out of the gate. Um, all right, guys. I'm gonna say that today is a day to enjoy how we feel as best we know how. If there's some of you that are stressing or worrying, reach out to somebody that you can confide in. Allow them to assist you, to help you if you're worried or you're having a hard time. If you're not, I want you to have fun. I need to have as much fun as the next person right now, let me tell you. So I think that this is definitely spirit reminding us that everything will be okay, that we will get through this with the support of one another and with this focus on peace, with this idea of not being in this alone, even though we're all sort of separate and feeling like we have to, keep our spaces clear and free and all of that. We need to, again, it's like this, when I'm having fun, it's that joy that we saw 3 times in the early part of this week, like focusing on that joy and what makes us happy, what makes us high vibrational. That's going to shake this to me. That's what I feel like this card is saying. That's going to move us through this quicker. The universe will work faster when we're having fun, when we're coming from a higher vibration, when we're in a more positive space, when we're focused on peace and abundance and emotional, like sort of like feeling complete emotionally, feeling that we have something to give to others, even if we don't feel like we have it within ourselves for ourselves. When we go about giving it to others, we actually end up finding it within ourselves and going, oh wow, right? So if you're freaking out, maybe get out of your own space and talk to somebody online. Help them through whatever they're going through. And have some fun while doing it, okay? Let's look at the grounding stone. The grounding stone is on obsidian, which is a super grounding stone, which will dispel any negativity. And the word is truth, kids. So we had knowledge yesterday. We had faith, joy, embrace. We had respect. We had some kind of heavy duty words in the grounding stones this week, The respect was the kicker from Sunday. How were we respecting ourselves? How were we respecting our fellow man during this situation? This truth to me speaks to the idea of not only is it on obsidian, which sort of like wards off negativity, we want to ground in this truth that we are emotionally complete, that we are safe, that we are okay, that peace will come, that we will get through this together as a group. That the universe will help us, that we're not left alone. Spirit has not abandoned us. Spirit has not left us to figure this out on our own. Yes, we might have some people that are bungling and making mistakes, or there's a lot of misinformation out there. But this is when we need to go internally and find the information and the truth, the knowledge that we saw in yesterday's grounding stone. Access that knowledge within ourselves, our own intuitive knowledge of where can we best be of service to ourselves and those around us, to our community right now, even if it's from behind a desk at a computer, right? Where can we do that so that we can fulfill and build this sort of emotional abundance, create this connection amongst one another, and live in that truth? Allow that truth to help us to create that fun, that joy that we saw this week. Allow that truth within us that we should be connecting to during this slowed down period, during this time. I really feel like this is the planet slowing us down, or spirit slowing us down, so that we can connect to our truth, to our knowledge of who we are, what we stand for. We're in 2020, we're in a new, decade where we're getting ready to transfer. I read a great article about Saturn, the planet of lessons, transferring from Capricorn into Aquarius. So we're shifting elements in our learning lessons with Saturn. We're going from an earthbound planet of Capricorn, or sign of Capricorn, into the airbound energies of Aquarius. These things need to be thought about, not thought about, but factored in, right? There's a shift that's taking place, and what we're sitting in right now is part of that. And finding our truth while doing this is really key and important. Finding the knowledge of that, finding the faith within ourselves and others, and finding that joy, right? These words to me are not just like words on a stone. These are things we should be grounding in during the day today. So when we're looking for that emotional abundance, we're looking for that completion, we're looking for that peace, we're looking for that ability to help others, we need to ground in warding off the negativity and being in our truth, that we are safe, that we are okay, that we can even have fun in the midst of a pandemic. Not fun in the midst of a pandemic, but you know what I mean. We can keep our vibration high and we can keep it focused on positivity and peace and let that be our truth, and that truth will ward off that negativity for us. I hope that makes sense, you guys. That is your forecast for today. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. There will be a charming tonight. Please tune in if you're interested in buying a charming. You can message me at the business page or private reading. And please like, share, follow, subscribe. You know the drill. Just be good to yourselves and others right now, as best you can. Okay? I love you all. Have a great day. Have some fun. And ground in your truth.